myself, I've started my career in the satellite industry and had the opportunity to come to Japan in 1990. Was working with Nisho Iwa, who educated me a little bit about doing business in Japan. And that was one of my first business experience. And we launched also 12 years ago in Europe a service called Euroketai that was dedicated to the Japanese people living in France. So we had a long history. So also, 6 months ago, we had a partnership with Vaio for connected PC. So we were the only non-Japanese company which were a mobile operators in Japan. So we had lots of things in our past which was making be together, I would say. So it was kind of an obvious thing. And I think in terms of strategic match, there is a perfect match. We provide these worldwide connectivity solutions, but we only provide connectivity when NTT can provide so much more things around that, and also NTT has the capacity to push those solutions worldwide, so it makes lots of sense for me. So Transatel is if I summarize what we do in one sentence, we are a global connectivity solution provider for the cellular business. And we do it on two market segments. One is MVNO, the other one is IoT. We started the company 19 years ago as in the MVNO business, so as a mobile telephony service provider. An MVNO is a mobile operators who don't have a network, so buy capacity from a network operators, such as in Japan, SoftBank, NTT Docomo, or KDDI. We moved about 10 years ago in the machine-to-machine business working for British Telecom. And then 5 years ago, we have decided to deploy globally a worldwide data MVNO for the IoT. And since February 28 this year, we are part of the NTT Group to make this business a much bigger business with NTT. Today, you can say that we have two business activity. Our traditional business is in the MVNO business. This is a very profitable business, so you can say that it is our cash cow. We are the #1 in Europe to MVNE, Mobile Virtual Network Enabler. That means we provide turnkey solution for people who want to become MVNO in Europe. We manage about 80 MVNO. So if I just give a few examples which may be relevant for you, China Telecom, the Chinese operators, is MVNO in UK and in France to target the Chinese population in France and UK. And we also work with China Mobile for the UK. But we have many other customers in Europe. The second business we do, which is the new business, as I said, it's a new business that we started 5 years ago, is a worldwide data MVNO for the IoT. We already have some references that you can see, and I will come back on those references. This worldwide solution for IoT cellular connectivity already works in more than 140 countries, and I will give a bit more details. So if I focus on this business, by the way, do you know where it is? Where is the picture? It's in Paris. And you can actually see our office on the left, and we share the office with Sony. So Sony and Transatel, we are in the same building. So there is a little bit perfume of Japan when you come to the Transatel office. So in IoT, we have 3 market segments. The first one is laptop and tablet. There's something which is very strange in the laptop-tablet business, is that more than 95% of the laptop and tablet are not connected to internet thanks to cellular connectivity. Most of the people, when they travel outside of the office or outside their country, they use Wi-Fi. Now, there's a problem with Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is not secure. So if you come to France, to the United States, to Africa, do you always want to trust the Wi-Fi? I don't think it's a good idea if you work for corporations. Now, you can use your phone, but first, to use your phone to get connectivity is not practical. It uses a battery, and if you use it outside of your country, outside of Japan, for you, then it's very expensive. That's totally crazy. Now, we are pushing, and we are having partnership with OEMs, device manufacturer, Vaio, Surface tablet. So if you buy a Surface tablet anywhere in the world, this comes with an eSIM with a Transatel profile. That means you open your device and you are connected. and you are connected in a secure way. So the benefit is productivity, because it's much more efficient, and security. And we think that it's something that we should develop and deploy globally with NTT, and that together we can make it very big and strong. The second market segment is automotive. We have been selected by FCA, Fiat Chrysler Automotive, which is the number 6 worldwide car manufacturer, to provide connectivity to their cars in Europe. The service is going to start by the end of October. We have also been selected by Jaguar Land Rover for the same service in Europe. We also work, and I will come back more in details on those cases. We are also working for Scania, which is the third worldwide truck manufacturer, and we also work for DAF. Actually, the automotive business is now getting our biggest business in terms of volumes of traffic. The third market segment, we call it industrial IoT, but it could be many more different segments. So one of our big customers is Airbus. I will come back on this one. We obviously work with lots of SIM card vendor and device maker, but I don't have the time. So this is our coverage. So you see that we cover all North America, all Europe, most of Asia, and we still need to work a little bit more for Latin America and Africa, but I hope that by the next summer, we're going to cover almost all Africa and all Latin America. We also have infrastructure in US, in Singapore, and in France, because we want to guarantee quality of service and speed of our data and low latency. This is why we have a point of presence with routers or pay gateway in those different countries. And our vision is that we're going to put much more of those pay gateways, leveraging on the worldwide NTT LTD infrastructure worldwide. So basically, if I summarize the key benefit for our customers, so just to give you an idea, FCA, Fiat Chrysler Automotive, Jaguar Land Rover, Airbus, we were shortlisted against Vodafone. So those are free contracts that we steal from Vodafone, because before they were working for Vodafone, and now they are working with us. What the customer like is that when you are integrated with Transatel, you have one integration. It's done, and you can deploy globally. That when you are a car manufacturer, you can work with Vodafone for Europe. Then if you want to go to US, you have to integrate with AT&T. If you come to Japan, you have to integrate with NTT Docomo. To China, and you come. So it's very complex. We provide one solution for the world. Our solution is very open. So basically, the customer can leave us very easily. So our customers are very loyal to us. They stay, but they stay because they are happy, not because they are locked by a technical solution or by an exclusivity contract. And because we are entrepreneur, because our DNA is innovation, we also make everything which is possible so that our customer can innovate and differentiate versus competition. Not going too much into the details, but all platforms allow to manage multiple services, whether it's services to manage a fleet of vehicles, services to manage insurance, pay-as-you-drive insurance for an insurance company, or whether you want to manage the end user by providing Wi-Fi on board and to manage the end user as a customer. So whether it's a B2B or B2C, our platform is capable to manage all those different kind of business models. Just some use case, Fiat Chrysler Automotive. So if you buy a Jeep and a high-end Alfa Romeo in Europe starting at the end of the month, you're going to have 3 years connectivity. The car manufacturer is going to use this connectivity for software update. As you know, in a car, you have lots of software, so you want to be able to do software update at any time, especially if it's critical software update, because what you don't want to do as a car manufacturer is to call back the car at the car dealer to do the software update. So it's much more efficient and discreet to do over-the-air software update. We also can provide Wi-Fi on board to the customer. These solutions that we provide for Europe, the objective is to deploy for Asia-Pacific, including Japan. And after, when we have deployed to Asia-Pacific, we're going to fight very hard to win the contract against AT&T. And I think that we should be able together to win such a contract. Another one is Airbus. So Airbus is a very interesting case. They have launched Skywise. Skywise is a predictive maintenance service for the airlines. That means that each time the plane is landing somewhere on Earth, as soon as it is on the ground, the flight information are uploaded in the cloud, and then the cloud computing can decide whatever action needs to be done for the maintenance of the planes. Airbus has selected Palantir, the US company for artificial intelligence, Amazon Web Service for cloud computing, and Transatel for cellular connectivity. And one of our competitive advantage was our capacity to exactly match Airbus needs. Jaguar Land Rover, which is another customer of us, very similar to Fiat Chrysler, Wi-Fi on board, software update, capacity to deploy globally. Another one which is very interesting, I think, especially in Japan, is Komao. Komao is a subsidiary of FCA, Fiat Chrysler Automotive. This is actually for machine tools. So now we provide the SIM cards for the machine tools so that FCA can do the predictive maintenance of a machine tool. And all solutions work globally, worldwide. Vaio. 3 years ago, I used to come a lot in Japan to meet all the Japanese OEM for laptop and tablet. And Vaio, they started with us. So on some Vaio computer, you have a Transatel SIM cards. And we provide a revenue share to Vaio. So not only you have 1 gigabyte free when you buy the Vaio computer, but also when the customer is buying more connectivity, we give revenue share to the OEM, which is actually very good for his business model, because not only is making money on the hardware, but he's also making money on the service. And basically trying to imitate what Apple is doing by doing business with hardware and with service. Arigatou gozaimasu.